Hi everyone, and welcome to another video from Winchesters. Today we thought we'd do something a little bit different and actually give you some of our thoughts around resumes. Obviously, at the moment a lot of people are looking for new jobs and your resume is a critical document, a critical piece in that puzzle to help you find and secure a new role. So we'll keep it fairly high level, just give you our kind of thoughts. Obviously it is always subjective as well. So just to start off with, first and foremost, your resume should cover all your roles. You should be talking about where you've been. It should also talk about gaps. Don't let people assume. Control the narrative on your own resume. If there are any gaps, address them and talk about why. Also, when you're talking about the roles in your career history, explain what each business does. You could be working for a large multinational that everyone's heard of. You could be working for a smaller business that less people are aware of. You want to make sure that people have that context and you're not making it difficult for them to understand where you are and what you're doing. Then as you go into your career history, don't forget to talk about what you buy. Literally, what are the categories that you're focused on? Spell it out, make it obvious. How much of those categories do you buy? What is your total spend? You're competing against other people for jobs. You could be managing a spend of $300 million. You could be competing against someone who only spends $3 million. But if neither one of you talks about the level of spend on your resume, you can both end up looking the same. You want to positively differentiate yourself. Also talk about how you go about sourcing. Is it quite an operational role, high-paced? Are you ordering off of call-off arrangements that are already made? Or is it strategic sourcing? Are you going out and sourcing new vendors, doing the negotiation, onboarding them, and doing the deal end-to-end? Again, it's important to make that distinction. Lastly, on the career history section, and really probably the most important, is talk about achievements. In procurement, you're there ultimately to deliver an output, to add value to the business. So don't forget about what value you actually created. Use numbers, quantify what this value is. For instance, if managing a category, you've moved from single source to dual source, did you save money? Did that introduce competition and reduce costs? If so, how much? Talk about that. If you led an ERP implementation, what were the end results of that? Did you manage to increase on-time delivery? Were you able to reduce inventory? All that sort of stuff, quantify it. A lot of the roles, often it comes back down to numbers. You want to talk a little bit about that on your resume. And then we also just thought we'd mention about the number of pages, because obviously, lots of people have different ideas on this, and this is very subjective. I guess our view at Winchesters is we don't really mind how many pages your resume has. Our view really is that page one needs to be impactful and it needs to be relevant for the role you're going for. So you should be talking about achievements, you should be talking about why your past experience synergizes well with the role that you're going for. And if doing that means you need to expand on your current role and talk a bit more about that, and it's going to push your resume onto a third page or even a fourth page, it's not the end of the world. The most important thing is that the early part of your resume, pages 1 and 2, are really impactful and really relevant as to why someone in the Canadian market in Toronto should interview you. So those are kind of our tips. I know we ran through them quickly and at quite a high level, but hopefully that you find them helpful. And lastly, just to say, keep an eye out on winchesters.ca. We're always working on new roles, and hopefully we'll have a chance to catch up with you soon. Thanks.